Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. Let's get up to the Jets' home opener in their 50th anniversary season of winning Super Bowl III. On the call, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. Bobby Rainey now to return it. He'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They're led out by a man who started more Super Bowls than anyone in NFL history, the great Tom Brady.
I can't help but admire the career Tom Brady has had. The numbers are off the charts. The Super Bowl championships and rings, we know that they are incredible. But how about the durability? Had one season that he missed, most of that season because of a knee injury. The rest of the time, he answers the bell and wills his team to victory more times than not. I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie, one of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Right back to him on 1st down. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
On 2nd down, here's Brady. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like right at the 40. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Look at the starters defensively for the Dolphins. They were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And they needed to be because that game was a game you don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and they got it done.
Now Brady on the bootleg. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a 1st down.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. To throw is Brady. And his throw here is incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. Now they try the right side here. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. From midfield, here's Brady. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 5. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
On 4th down, here's the veteran Shane Leckler to punt it away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnist write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And they'll run him here. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
He'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on the punt. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball to their territory.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. Taken in at the 11. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. That'll go down as a loss of 8, and it'll be a 2nd and long.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack, but that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. We get a look now at the defense for the New York Jets. They're a top 5 unit right now against the pass in the league. In fact, they sit at number 5.
And hey, they were stingy in the opener. Didn't allow much of anything at all through the air. So now they come into week 2 saying, hey, let's see if we can do even better. Let's go ahead and get to that number 1 spot.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment. But there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
New York set to take the field. And a safety the last go-around. That's how we arrive at this 2-0 score. See if they can respond.
Such an oddity, isn't it? See those 2 points go up on the board knowing
looks like
that
soccer.
Exactly. And knowing that you did it to give those points up for your team. Now they're just looking to get back out on the field and make up for it.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that'll set them back 5. The false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. Now Brady. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. And give credit to Reuben Foster, the linebacker, getting a hand in to disrupt.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. It's some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Working from the gun, it's Brady. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? Third and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
Here's Shane Leckler now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And now let's see how the young rookie bounces back. First drive and interception. How will he handle it?
And I think this is where your leaders step up for you, right? Your veteran guys put a big arm around him. All right, guy, you had one. Don't worry about it. Let's get out there and let's roll. And I'm also eager to see what the offensive coordinator is going to do. How much confidence does he have in him? Does he go safe now, or does he continue to run the full game plan?
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab it. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
And a loss of 3 to break the board.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. An update from around the league as our first one comes from New Orleans. And it's an early lead there for the Saints. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain?
And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. 2-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
With Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Jets in possession as we begin quarter number 2 here. They're up against a 3rd and 2 to start things out. Now a handoff looking right, and that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Oh, pressure comes, and the Dolphins block it. And they are going to take possession of the football. So much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
In however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He only has a single solo carry, one. Numero uno, second quarter. They need to get in the ball more, don't they?
I'm not the greatest statistician in the world.
Yeah, you are.
But a back like that with only one carry kind of takes me back to college in the classroom. Not enough evidence to declare what you should do the rest of the game. Give him the ball some more and find out.
Will they incorporate him? We'll find out.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Green 39.
They'll look to throw here. This is caught. It's Cooks. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to...
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Jack Doyle, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. So it goes for a rookie quarterback. He had the INT earlier in this first half, but he bounces back with a touchdown pass.
And you have to like the mental acumen, the toughness, the fortitude of him, because oftentimes for a rookie, you throw an interception early, you're taken right out of the game, or mentally, you check out a little bit. Give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Rainey to return it. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
They're going to look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And that is incomplete. Oh, Patrick Peterson, the shutdown corner, was there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And this one is right through. And that will bump up the lead again to 12-0. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Rainey to return it. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here comes Tom Brady and the Patriot offense back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And he powers his way up past the 30. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
20!
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. A reminder coming up at halftime, the coach is back. He made it through the first weekend. That's the good news, and he's going to regale you with stats and scores from around the NFL here in the early games in Week 2.
You think he questioned coming back for Week 2, having to work with us?
I think he did. He's just happy that he is far away in Orlando. Now Brady throwing on 2nd down. Underneath for Johnson. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. To throw, it's Brady. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
tackler now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And what do you think's going through his head right now? Your team's winning, but you're not having your best game. It probably affects you even when your team is up.
You don't want anyone else to know it, but I think you're right. It bothers a quarterback because they always want to be the one to lead their team to victory with their play as well as their words. And in this case, he's got something he can fall back on. He's contributed, yet at the same time he's thrown an interception. Got to remember the bottom line, though. They're winning. So he knows if he plays better, they might be winning by more.
And it's only the second quarter, so he's got some time. To throw now on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slant. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. This quarterback now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. First and 10. They'll look to throw. And he finds Danny Amendola. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll set up a throw. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. And his kick is good. And the lead extends. It's 15-0. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Rainey to return it. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Elsewhere, second quarter in D.C. It's the Colts in that one that have grabbed the early lead. And we'll be sure to keep an eye on that one as we go along here. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. Avoids him at the 40. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Well, that throw by Brady, incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's Brady to throw. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. Third and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. Here's Shane Lechler now as he's on to punt for New York. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here.
Hurry up, here we go. Boom, landed.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Now let's go. 3,
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. The Dolphins on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Doyle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's a gain of 7, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He gets away from 1. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. And they'll go on the ground. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Back to throw here. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right, you look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. The Dolphins on third down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is third down and 12. Now back to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
So another third down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. They'll drop to throw. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. As his guys are in for 6, and the Dolphins are able to grow their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10.
Hey, you got white 20, green 80, white 20.
To throw again. Brady. And his throw is going to be incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
You know they wanted, you know they expected. They needed him to be sharp coming out after the half. Unfortunately, he's missed his first 3 throws. I wonder if he got out late and missed his warm-up time.
The whole team did come out a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Must have been a heck of a halftime speech.
Yeah, maybe just trying to rally the troops back from this deficit. Throwing is Brady on third down. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Shane Lechler now as he's on to punt for New York. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So now here come the Dolphins. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Here we go now. 3-19.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They go play action here on first down. Looking middle, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And they'll run it here. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
All right, here we go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
All right, here we go. Blue, landed.
They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
Call it a gain of 3, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
All right, here we go. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and just like that, it's third down.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big pickup, and guess what? It's now third and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
Here we go.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps for these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column.
Set. Green 30.
And they'll run it here. And he'll take it across midfield down into jet territory. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. They'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for the Dolphins, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll return home next week to take on the Oakland Raiders. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.